They just admitted it. Judges helping illegals, FBI agents plotting against Trump, Hunter's laptop buried, and Epstein's death still covered up. This isn't justice, it's corruption on full display. Stick around, because I'm breaking it all down.
Yes, that's why we arrested her.
She was helping an illegal immigrant escape being taken into custody. Is that right?
Yes, and the field agents decided to open the case, work the case.
And as Americans, do we get to pick and choose which laws we want to follow?
We do not.
If you're a state court judge, do you get to decide you don't want to follow federal law?
No.
And if you violate federal law, you get arrested, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
That's called equal treatment under the law, isn't it?
Yes, Senator.
You remember Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. I think Ms. Page worked for Justice. The Inspector General found in its investigation that they hated President Trump and they really wanted Secretary Clinton to win. Is that true?
That's correct, sir.
And this would be the same same Ms. Page who sent an email to Mr. Strzok with whom she was having an affair. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Mr. Strzok with the FBI, senior official at the FBI replied, quote, no, he won't. We'll stop it. Did I read that correctly?
You did, Senator.
Okay. Now, Ms. Page got quit before she could get fired. Mr. Strzok was fired. And predictably, they filed a lawsuit because in Washington, it's easier to divorce your spouse than it is to fire a federal employee. Why did the FBI give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 to settle a lawsuit?
Senator, I do not know that settlement was reached in the prior administration.
Who made the decision?
The prior Department of Justice.
Who in the prior Department of Justice?
The settlement for that kind of case can only come from the Attorney General, which would be Attorney General Merrick Garland.
So the Attorney General decided to give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 after they were fired after actively interfering in the 2016 election. Is that right?
My understanding is that was a settlement they agreed to.
Pass me the sick bucket, please. The Hunter Biden laptop. In October of 2016, shortly before the election, the New York Post wrote a story that was widely covered talking about Mr. Hunter Biden's influence peddling scheme based on his laptop. A couple of weeks later, Secretary of State, soon to be Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, organized a group of 51 so-called intelligence experts. Had some real rock stars on the list. Jim Clapper, John Brennan, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, and they said, oh, no, the story in the New York Post is not true. It's based on Russian disinformation. You remember that?
I do, Senator, as the lead investigator for Russiagate for the House Intel Committee.
Yeah. The FBI had the laptop for 10 months, hadn't they?
They did, Senator.
So the FBI knew right before the election that it wasn't Russian disinformation, didn't they?
And that was confirmed by the Inspector General's report.
Yeah. Who at the FBI refused to let the FBI tell the American people the truth?
I don't have that name in front of me, sir.
Well, would you look?
I will, sir.
I'd like to know. I'd like a name, not a division. I'd like the name. Person with a brain and a beating heart.
Yes, sir.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that, and we're doing it in a way that protects victims and also doesn't put out into the ether information that is irrelevant for production of the public, such as CSAM.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Reid.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Director. As you're well aware, DOJ.
Welcome back to Jace Manwa. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of my breakdowns of the corruption rotting away at the heart of our government. So let's talk about what just went down in this Senate hearing. A judge in Wisconsin was arrested because she decided she was above federal law, helping an illegal immigrant escape custody. Now ask yourself, if you or I break federal law, do we get special treatment? No, we get arrested. That's equal treatment under the law. But when it's a judge, suddenly the left screams about persecution. This is exactly the double standard Americans are sick of. Then we move on to the names we all remember: Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, two so-called professionals who hated Trump, openly plotted against him, and yet somehow walked away with golden parachutes. $1.2 million for Strzok and $800,000 for Page. Think about that. Fired for bias, caught interfering in the 2016 election, and the Department of Justice, under the last administration, still handed them a payout with your tax dollars. Washington rewards corruption and punishes truth. And speaking of truth, the Hunter Biden laptop story comes up. The FBI had that laptop for 10 months before the 2020 election. They knew it wasn't Russian disinformation, but instead of being honest with the American people, they let 51 so-called intelligence experts push a lie to protect Joe Biden's campaign. Who inside the FBI shut down the truth? The American people deserve a name. And then, Jeffrey Epstein. The FBI director says Epstein killed himself. Do you buy that? Most Americans don't. And the fact that they're still dragging their feet on releasing all the records should tell you something. If they really cared about transparency, we would have the files already. But no, they're working through it. That's DC talk for hiding what they don't want you to see. This hearing exposed everything wrong with our government. A justice system weaponized against political enemies, elites who skate by with payouts, and a bureaucracy more interested in protecting itself than protecting the people. That's why we need to keep shining a light on the truth. Thanks for watching. If you believe in exposing corruption, defending equal justice, and standing up for America, hit that like button and subscribe to Jace Manwa. Together, we'll keep pushing back against the lies.